Let's move on and talk about your campaign for a few minutes, because this report, I'm trying to figure out what's going on with this report. It was an NBC News report that I saw, and we're going to put it up on the screen, about how Republican operatives are trying to help you get on the ballot in a key state. They're talking about North Carolina. They've obtained documents, they say, that show these operatives connected to a GOP firm have helped Cornel West. So, you know, the obvious idea there would be that they think you'd take away from Biden and you'd hurt Trump, and they're trying to help you out. Is that what's going on, or are you doing all this on your own?
That is news to me. This campaign does not welcome gangster elements from whatever party. It could be Trump's party, it could be Biden's party, or any other party. There's no doubt about that. And we have been breaking our necks. So I in no way want to trivialize the tremendous effort we have been making. I've been going from state to state for the last number of months, trying to get on balance. So I don't want to trivialize the tremendous effort of our breaking our necks in order to gain access to these ballots. There's no doubt about that. Now, it's also true, of course, that we have no control. That is to say, you got a number of spies, infiltrators, you got secret donors, and so forth. We are moving forward to do all that we can to get on every ballot in the state.
Do you have the resources, though, Dr. West, to do it yourself? I mean, the other thing this article said is that you're running out of money or don't have a lot of money, and that you need the help from people like this. That's the only way you're going to get on these ballots, because we've talked about you being a quote-unquote spoiler. I know you reject that label, but do you have the resources to get on the ballots? You know,
well,
yourself?
We've had enough resources to get on every ballot that I know of that we have been able to procure. Absolutely. Do we have the $11 million at Trump and the $105 million at Biden? Absolutely not. But we are on the move, though, brother. And we are proceeding in such a way that we're going to make sure we get on these ballots. And at the same time, we're trying to ensure that we are in no way, as I said before, you know, welcoming any other gangster elements from other parties.
Which is what you see these GOP operatives would be. So you don't welcome any of that. If you get on, though, however you get on in a state, they're talking about North Carolina. I think I've highlighted Michigan as the state you could have the most impact. I mean, the poll numbers are low, but in Michigan it doesn't take much. I mean, again, and I go back to this a lot with you, but I mean, how is that not being a spoiler? Because you're not going to win Michigan or not going to become president, according to any of the polls. There's no indication of that, but that is spoiling, right?
No, that's not spoiling at all. That's allowing the people to have a choice and people critically thinking and making their choice. That's not a spoiler at all. You know, that Biden makes his case, Trump makes his case. I make my case. Stein makes her case.
Right.
Sister Claudia Cruz makes their case. The Libertarian brother makes his case. That's what it is to have an election.
Anything Biden could do that would get a guy like you out of the race, or that we're long past that?
Well, when I listen to Blinken, and he talks about how important it is to reach this deal, and Biden is denying genocide, enabling genocide. He's a war criminal himself. Trump is a convicted criminal, but a criminal of particular kinds of crimes that would facilitate similar kind of war crimes that Biden is. We have to have an alternative, brother.
So
and you and I,
if there's a ceasefire in Gaza, would you?
That's a small first step, but we need to cease. We need to bring it into the occupation of, brother. You got to treat Palestinians with equality the same way you treat Jewish brothers and sisters with equality. We know anti-Jewish hatred has always cut deep. In America, anti-black hatred, anti-Arab hatred, anti-Muslim hatred cuts deeper than anti-Jewish hatred. And so I just find it ironic in a certain sense that people are so preoccupied with anti-Semitism, and we all must be fundamentally against anti-Jewish hatred, but on the ground, anti-black, anti-Arab, anti-Muslim hatred cuts much deeper, and anti-Palestinian hatred cuts even deeper. We've got to be morally consistent, so we're anti any kind of hatred of a people and keep track of occupation and domination. And so when I hear of Blinken and the others and Biden, I look and see war criminals trying to wrestle with the guilt.
On that point about anti-Semitism, just as the last point, then we are actually out of time. Did you see AOC, the Congresswoman's comments on that? We can put them up, but she says that the progressive movement is undermined by anti-Semitism.
I think that she's speaking to a Jewish group. She's speaking as a politician, that progressives have always been deeply against anti-Jewish hatred. what's undermining the movement has always been much deeper anti-black, anti-Arab, anti-Palestinian. But we stand against anti-Jewish hatred. But she's speaking as a politician. She's not speaking as a truth teller. And it's so hard to find truth, justice, and love in a context in which there's so much hatred, so much revenge, and so much criminality.
Thanks so much for watching. Just go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.